What if I told you that knowledge of one simple technique could help you memorize information 10 times faster? Not twice as fast, not 5 times faster, but 10 times faster. I'm talking recalling dates, vocab, formulas, technical jargon in minutes, not hours. What makes me qualified to train you on this technique? Well, I've only been a student for 25 years, and this is one of those techniques that you really must have in your study process. Now, what is the technique that I speak of? Well, it's none other than the method of loci. Now, it is worth mentioning the method of loci has many alternative names. It's also known as the memory journey, memory palace, journey method, memory spaces, or mind palace technique. Irrespective of the name that you identify with, the technique is quite straightforward. Let's do a quick rundown. Now, legend has it that during a catastrophic banquet collapse, Simonides of Kos, a Greek poet, observed that the specific spatial positions of the fallen guests provided the key to their identities. This harrowing insight led him to develop the method of loci, a mnemonic technique that anchors memories to particular locations, a practice that still underpins modern memory strategies. We're going to add a modification to this technique to make it even more powerful. Grab a pen and paper, let's launch in. Step 1, pick your palace. The first thing you need to do is choose your location, that is your memory palace. Don't overthink it, just pick somewhere you know like the back of your hand, and your house would probably be the most obvious location. Picture it. You walk in through the front door. Maybe on the right there's your massive couch and your amazing 4K TV. Maybe you go over to the left-hand side and you've got the kitchen. On the far left corner, you've got your fridge. If you walk through to the other end of the kitchen, maybe you run into the first bedroom. Make a quick right and a few moments later, you're by the bathroom. Another few turns and maybe you run into the laundry room. Now, what's really fascinating about this type of method is that our brain loves spatial memory. It's like it's wired to remember movements through a 3D space much better than just a random list of information. Now, you could totally use this to memorize complicated jargon in just mere minutes. Step 2, prime your brain. Now, here's the twist. We're going to enhance this technique with another technique called priming. Now, priming really originates within psychology, and it's the idea of taking information, presenting the information to the person once. They may not even register that they're learning something, and then later on you return and reinforce that information. The reason why priming works so well is because the information will seem familiar. Now, our brain uses a mental framework or a schema to organize the world around us. And once we associate priming with a technique that already amplifies our mental framework, the memory palace, that is when we truly gain mastery of our memory. So let's test this out. Here's the twist. Before we memorize anything, we need to take 30 seconds to literally power up your brain. So close your eyes, imagine your place, and focus on your senses. Smell the coffee in the kitchen. Hear the creak of the floor by the door leading out of the kitchen. Maybe go back into the lounge and sit on the couch and feel that lovely fabric. It sounds weird, right? But science says this actually boosts your recall. It's like warming up your memory engine. You should do this before every study session. In fact, try it right now. Run yourself through. Pause on the video if you need to. Take yourself through your memory palace and explore the senses vividly. Then we're ready for step 3, which is link and lock. Now, the real magic of this technique is being able to link information into your stations. So let's say you're memorizing something like biology terms. Shall we do something like the organelles within a mammalian cell? Maybe it's mitochondria, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, the lysosome, maybe smooth and maybe rough endoplasmic reticulum, vacuoles. There's so many structures. Do we do endosomes? Getting complicated. Now, if we take all of these rather absurd jargon by themselves, they don't really make any sense. If we start to allocate each one of them to a station within our memory palace, that's when we gain power. Check this out. Maybe you envisage a mitochondria-shaped pizza sitting on the table in front of the couch in the living room. Maybe there's a gigantic glowing disco ball shaped like a nucleus above your fridge. And maybe you spot tiny little things running around on the kitchen sink that look like ribosomes. Or maybe they're ants, I can't quite tell. Now, once you've filled up this room with all of this information, the more absurd the better, you're actually going to remember that incredibly well. In fact, at least 10 times better than memorizing the jargon in a list. Now, if you still don't believe me that this technique is 10 times better, I suggest that you give it a go. Take something that you need to learn, test out this technique, and if it works, leave a comment. Tell other people whether it works. If you find it doesn't work, also leave a comment. Only that way can we find the ultimate memory technique. So there you have it. Memory Palace boosted with a little bit of priming. It's going to 10 times your memory, and hopefully that gives you 10 times your grade. Not sure it works that way necessarily. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to hit the like button. Helps the algorithm to keep the recommendation process rolling. If you find yourself intrigued, maybe hit subscribe, where you will see future videos where we cover more study strategies. And for more helpful information, absolutely consider checking out my website, where I'm going to try and assemble the world's first archive of all the study techniques in existence, with full descriptions and explanations of how to do them, and eventually video guides on each study strategy, giving you the ultimate collection of all the study strategies in existence. I call it MemVAULT. See you on the next video.